The following episode of the Comics and Crypto podcast is for informational purposes only, and anything expressed by the hosts or their guests is solely their opinion. This podcast does not constitute financial advice, and anyone wishing to invest should seek their own independent financial or professional help. Have fun and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Hare, and I know comics.
Hi, I'm Spencer Vogel, and I know crypto.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lee Loader, and I don't know shit. This is the Comics and Crypto podcast.
Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, collectors world in a digital age. Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, it's where the next billionaires will be made. It's comics and crypto.
Hello and welcome back to the Comics and Crypto podcast. We have some really exciting news and updates, as well as a special guest interview at the end. So let's get right into it. Gentlemen, woo, we're back. Oh, I'm excited. How was your weekends?
Argon was awesome. I mean, we were with each other. Kevin, myself, and our good friend and collaborator, Roth Ride. Big shout out to
person.
Roth.
Amazing.
We created a short film that got into an awesome film festival in LA.
The Horror House Film Festival.
Horror House Film Festival. It's a
Careful when you say that.
Horror House Film Festival. It was a really awesome, intimate film festival, and we actually won an award.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah, we won the audience award.
Yeah,
it's
we won the
amazing,
audience
man.
award. So big shout out to the entire team and crew and everybody who worked on that project.
Yeah.
The film is called I Miss Us. And a big shout out to director and writer Roth Rind, who we absolutely love and adore.
Yeah, to the cast, the crew, everyone who's worked on that, man. We had a lot of fun, and it's just hearing people's reactions to our short, the way they reacted, we wanted them to react.
Exactly.
That was amazing.
And that was a really strong vision from
Yeah.
Roth as a director.
Yeah.
He took a chance and it paid off.
Yeah,
He got the
you guys
exact
had
reaction.
some incredible special effects.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun because we did a lot of practical and special effects in this, and all the visual effects are done by Kevin.
Yep, and as well as the editing.
Insanely
and,
talented guy right here.
Yeah.
He's not just an amazing voice. But we're very, very excited for everyone to see it. And we actually did a really cool behind the scenes video of all the stunts that were involved and some of the things that were done behind the scenes. And I'll include that in the details below. So make sure to check that out if you would like to see how a really cool film was done.
Yeah.
Something really cool that happened last night to us. So we were all on a Twitter Spaces AMA for Mogul Productions to help promote our podcast episode and interview that we did with Rob Pryor and the NFT drop that Rob Pryor is coming up. And we were just hanging out, having a good time. And then who do you know but Tech9 decides to join the AMA. So we got to hang out with Tech9 for like a half hour live on Twitter and just geeked out on comic books and horror movies. And it was incredible.
He's an awesome dude.
He's such a
He was
fucking cool
funny,
guy.
too.
So funny.
I was so impressed. When he came on there, I was like, "Oh shit, what?"
I was so nervous.
Exactly. We all
my
were. We were all like,
nostalgia. I mean,
what do we do? What do we do? And then he was just amazing. It was perfect.
I mean, I've been listening to his stuff since high school,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's my entire memories of high school was his music, and I still listen to his music a lot. And the guy's incredible. He's an incredibly talented artist, and to have a chance to talk with him and Rob at the same time was just so epic.
And you can see why they're friends, him and
Oh,
Rob.
yeah.
Like they have that darkness to them that they love, and they like the creativity is just amazing.
Yeah, they definitely think a lot the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
That is for sure.
And they're just amazing dudes. Like it was just so fun to hear them talk and how much they respect and love each other. Like you feel that love, you know?
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of love there.
Yeah.
A lot of love.
And what's really cool, Rob talked about how Tech was apparently the first person that got him on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he talked about how he was,
that's right.
he was nervous to get on stage. And for anybody who didn't listen to the podcast last week, we interviewed the amazing, talented Rob Pryor. He's known for painting on stage with a lot of big artists like Jay-Z and Linkin Park and Tech9. And Tech9 was the reason why he kickstarted that idea. He said, "Hey man, get up on stage. Get up on stage and paint while we perform."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?"
And Rob has terrible stage fright, apparently.
Mhm.
Like he was like, he did not want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And he came on and man, you don't see that in the videos.
Yeah.
You don't see that stage fright
you would
because
never
he
know.
is just he's so in the zone and so in his world, and you feel it, you see it, and then it shows on paper.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Pure nostalgia, just talking
great.
about Star Wars and
Yeah.
and his love for clowns, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah,
the's a clown shrine.
It's a
clown
huge
shrine in his
clown
house.
collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, clown
I was
shrine,
like, wow.
clown
All
shrine
right,
in his
all right,
house.
Tech9. Wow, love it, buddy. Love it.
I really hope we get to see that, at least a
I
photo of
know.
it one day.
Yeah.
See what that's like.
It's amazing. That was definitely up there for me on one of those things of like, I
And
can't believe this is happening.
And a
Yeah.
big shout out to Mogul Productions for putting that AMA
Absolutely.
on. That was a
Mhm.
lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And to everyone who participated, thank you so much for being on there.
Yeah.
So what's new in NFTs? What do we got?
So, a couple exciting NFT drops. One that already happened and one that is coming up that I wanted to talk about. So, both of these drops are with really, really influential toy companies. So, both Hasbro and Mattel have both been releasing NFTs. So, Hasbro, they just launched their first ever NFT on the Wax blockchain, and this was a Power Rangers NFT. This was the Power Rangers Zord Ascension NFT series. So each of the NFTs that they put out there were one of ones. So they were all completely unique. No NFT that they did. No two NFTs were exactly the same. And they featured artwork of this Dino Megazord Power Ranger, which is, I guess, a new Power Ranger that they're putting out, and all of its components. And they're really interesting. They're really cool looking. They have 3D design, and they all have different backgrounds that make them unique. So they dropped on October 24th, and they cost about $200. And currently, the cheapest one is selling for about $300 on Atomic Hub. So if you were to have bought it, you would have made money on it. But the thing that's really, really cool about these is that these are Wax VIRL NFTs. VIRL is virtual in real life NFTs. So this is similar to what Funko Tops has done with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and other drops that we've talked about. And basically, the owner of the NFT on October 31st, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time will receive a Power Coin dropped into their wallet, which is redeemable for a physical Hasbro Edition Power Rangers collectible figure, which is the Zord Ascension Project Special Edition Dino Megazord.
Oh, wow.
Basically, once you have that Power Coin in your wallet, owners of that coin will have 1 week to redeem that coin for the physical Power Ranger figure. So I think this is a super cool drop. I personally participated and I grabbed one, and I'm planning on getting the physical Power Ranger as well. I have not really ever collected physical action figures, but these things look really cool, and I love the NFT integration with it and the crossover. And yeah, I've been getting into all of these VIRL drops that Wax has been doing.
I'm just blown away how Wax continues to push that physical and digital collections.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And they are crushing it. I mean,
I love that idea.
Because I'm so pumped to get the Ninja Turtle NFT that Spencer, that you I'm so grateful that you mentioned that, because I wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
And to have an opportunity to own like one of the grails of Leonardo is just, oh man.
Yeah, it's a first appearance. So first appearance
And
NFT.
actually, it'll be my first ever Funko Pop doll that I own too.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
really
I've
excited
actually
excited to
purchased
get
those
that.
before. It's great. I mean, NFTs are bringing people into a space that a physical collecting space they never would. Similar like how we've talked about with digital comic books bringing people into physical comics.
The two worlds are going to complement each other so well.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's man.
So the other one that I just spoke about, Mattel is also launching on Wax. Wax seems to be doing all of these big toy and VIRL drops. So they're launching a Hot Wheels collection on Wax. So Hot Wheels actually, they did with Mattel, they did a collection over the summer, and it was a pretty exclusive, like one of one auction for Hot Wheels cars. They're very expensive and not very accessible for most people, but this is the first ever true, large, market collectibles drop that they've done. So this is the Hot Wheels NFT Garage Series 1 drop that will be featuring 40 brand new Hot Wheel car designs that have never been seen before. So these will go on sale on November 16th. So you guys have plenty of time to prepare yourself for that. They'll be sold in packs of 4 for $15 and packs of 10 for $35. And very similar to the Funko Pops drops. And they'll be doing the VIRL. So you'll actually have a 5% chance of getting a VIRL NFT from the packs. So basically, you'll get the NFT, and then you'll be able to redeem that for a physical Hot Wheel in the real world.
Nice.
So super excited about that. I collected Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I played with the tracks, all that stuff. So I'm super excited they're getting involved in the NFT space, and the NFTs look super cool. They basically look like the physical collectibles or the physical Hot Wheels that you would buy in the store, like they're in the packaging. So you kind of basically you see the packaging in the NFT, and then there's a little bit of animation there too. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one as well.
Is the NFT a 3D model, or is it still just a flat image?
No, it's 3D. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, it is 3D.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I thought it was
that's
going to be
really
a flat
cool.
image.
I mean, it's like a flat image, but it looks 3D.
Right, but it's not
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
But
a 3D.
it's not like a 3D model like on VeVe. It's not
Right,
it's not
okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna
See,
say that'd be
you
cool
can't
if it
interact
was and it
with
was
it
like
on-
in the package, and you
No,
literally grab it.
yeah. It's not like usable in augmented reality or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
I mean, augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Apparently, I said it wrong in the last
Yeah.
podcast episode,
Hilarious. I
and
loved
Kevin has not let me forget about it.
Nope.
well, I would have forgotten about
Never.
it, but you just brought it up, so now I won't.
Oh no!
I'll
I just
never
opened a can
forget.
of worms.
Mr. Augmented Reality.
Augmented reality. So, Sean, what's going on with VeVe, bud?
Disney! Disney!
Disney!
We've been calling this for a while, and I am so excited to announce that Disney is officially coming to VeVe.
Dude,
Not
this
just
is
Disney, but
amazing.
also Pixar and also Star Wars.
Yep.
It's bittersweet because Kevin and I have been working on a video for quite some time, literally about a month in the process. It's basically,
Yep.
it was a hype speculation video that compiles all the breadcrumbs that the
Yep.
VeVe has thrown along the way over the past few months, speculating that potential big
Yeah.
companies are going to be coming to the platform. And some of the big focus of this video was on Disney, Pixar, and Star
Yep.
Wars. And now here we are
Yep.
with the news coming out.
Speculation
So,
confirmed.
speculation confirmed.
Yeah, it's no longer a speculation
we
video,
did see it
guys.
coming,
It's
but
a confirmation video.
so we're gonna tweak the video a little bit. Kevin
Yeah.
had some really awesome
Yep.
ideas to tweak it to accommodate the announcement.
Yeah.
And you will be seeing that video soon.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll dive more into Disney
Okay.
soon. But I wanted to jump into a couple of other things first.
Cool.
Most importantly, there's been a big problem on VeVe Facebook Collectibles group page and a lot of the Facebook group pages
Mhm.
of scammers.
Mm-hmm.
Recently somebody has copied my profile and actually scammed somebody, and that just fucking crushes my soul
Yeah.
when that
Mhm.
happens. That somebody would take advantage of somebody else and use my image. There's a couple of ways to go about this, and I want to make sure that people out there listening, if you do use escrow, make sure you know for sure that it's the moderator of that group page.
Mhm.
Yep.
There's a couple that I can vouch for, and I'll include the links below. The moderators on this page, including myself, are 100% trustworthy. I put
Yeah.
myself on the line and vouch for these people.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
amazing people, amazing friends,
Yeah.
and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, make sure to go into anyone's profile image and page to go
Yeah.
through their stuff.
Yeah,
make sure
'cause
they're actually
Really what you should do is basically, if somebody is reaching out and they say that they're a moderator, what you should do is actually go to the Facebook group page,
Mhm.
find the moderators on the page, the admins, go to their account, and then send a message directly to the account from the page. And if that account is different from the account that you're messaging, then it's not a real account.
Yeah, to add on to that, when you click on the page, you'll see that it says moderators on there, or it has certain badges that only the real moderator page can have. They can't fake that.
Something else to look out for when you're trying to buy collectibles or really, anything. Look out to make sure something's not too good to be true, because if somebody makes an offer for you for something and you're like, wow, this is an incredible price, I can't believe I'm getting it. Like, chances are it probably is too good to be true. They're willing to take a hit on whatever the actual price should be because they're a scammer. So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely heed that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we're going to be including some links below
Mhm.
to a couple of the Facebook group pages that you can use. These moderators, I can vouch for 100%.
Yeah.
They're great people. So
Yeah, I recently also had an experience where somebody tried to scam me. Somebody was impersonating Oscar, who's one of the admins and moderators on the VeVe Collectibles page,
Yeah.
and it was just a fake account. And luckily I know what to look for, and I was able to save myself from getting scammed. But you guys just got to watch out. Got to be very careful
super
because
fucked
there
up.
are
That's-
people out there that are trying to take your stuff.
And that kills me too, because Oscar's one of the amazing people I mentioned earlier. Oscar's an
Yeah.
incredible guy, and now his reputation is being tarnished because of these fucking pieces of shit.
Yep.
So again, make sure you double check. You want to be 1000% sure that is the person that you're talking to.
Yes.
Other people don't
Yes.
accidentally fall into the same trap.
So comic books. We haven't talked about comic books in a while, and we've added a couple cool things that I think everybody should check out. Every Monday, we're doing comic book rankings
Mhm.
on VeVe.
Yeah.
And these rankings are specifically focusing on the long-term hold.
Mhm.
This is our long-term vision, and we're talking like 2+ years from now.
Mhm.
That's what we're thinking. We're not thinking, oh, what's going to be like in a month? What's the short flip going to be like? We're not thinking about doing a swing trade, or as in like a short flip or immediate flip. We're thinking of the long-term hold.
Yeah.
And we've included this every Monday. We're going to be tweeting this out. So follow us at Comics and Crypto, and you'll see updated images of our comic book rankings. But also we've provided an actual spreadsheet with these rankings that also include the price of the comic in the physical world, price of the comic in the digital world, and it gives you a bit more detailed information of why we came to the conclusion for these rankings.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, so-
also, Spencer, go ahead.
I was going to say, some of the things that we look at when we make these rankings, obviously we're looking at scarcity, how many editions there are. We're looking at first appearances, how significant those first appearances are, if there is one, whether there's significance historically, in both the physical world and in the digital world. For For example, or historical significance could be something like it's the first ever NFT drop on VeVe, or it's the first ever Marvel drop. You know, that's something that gives it some extra significance. So yeah, we're looking at a lot of different factors like that, and something to look out for is we will be creating some, I guess, deeper analytics for some of this, explaining, you know, our reasoning behind all this. So, you know, expect that in the future as well.
Yeah. And also, we're going to be creating some educational content to help explain, okay, so cool, I see on paper what a Silver Age comic is and what's a Golden Age, or what's a Grail book, what's a spec book. We're going to create videos explaining what all this is and to help you make the best decisions for your collection and your investments. That's really important to us, is that we give you the information that we know as collectors, information that we've gained from people who've been doing this for decades, and give you that information, and so you can determine what's best for you. And that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And what's really cool, actually, so one of the videos we're going to also be creating discusses mint numbers and diving deep into a strategy that Spencer has created, which is really exciting. There's actually a really cool story about that, because we are a huge believer of low mint numbers. But not just low mint numbers, also mint numbers that are connected to that comic, right? So there's this awesome guy I talked to recently. His name's Vince. Big shout out, Vince. And he said that he had a mint number 1952 for Journey into Mystery 85, which is the first appearance of Loki. But he didn't. He had 1962. If you look on the VeVe comic, they have the first year that the series was published, right?
Gotcha.
Not the comic. So right next to it says 1952. Yeah, so he didn't realize, oh, okay, well, shit, that's when the comic was released. No, that's the series was released. But he actually owns the 1962 mint number, the year that the comic came out.
Oh, wow. That's
and it's
cool.
also rare.
Yeah. Oh, it's rare.
It's also rare.
Ooh,
yeah.
nice.
And I think, I mean, Spencer, this is a good debate about, I'm excited to talk to you about this. I personally think that could be as valuable as mint number 1. I think it could. It really comes down to the collector.
That's a stretch. I don't know if it'll be as good as number 1.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe equivalent to a secret rare, but I don't know about a number 1 mint.
I mean, would you let's put it this way. Would you rather have mint number 2 or mint number 3 or the 1962 mint?
I would say 2 or 3.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would probably still pick 2 or 3. I would still probably take 2 or 3.
Man, I don't know, guys.
Because here's where I think it is. I think it, like you just said, it comes down to the collector. If there's a collector out there who wants a 1962, sure. But I don't think that's a major amount of people.
Yeah, it's a very specific collector profile that would go for something like that. But I think more broadly, most collectors would find more value for the lower mints than this.
I will say it's niche until there's a huge fucking sale for one of the comics of that year.
True.
Because the second that happens, all the comics, the Grail comics, are going to trickle along the same. But yeah, I'm with you. My process in that, my thought process in that though is, so like the number 1 mint, right? The number 1 mint it's really one of a kind. It's the first ever mint, right? But that's how I view this as well, because it's 1962, the same year. There's only one of a kind, just like it. And that's my thought process. But it's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah,
because I think we all have different. We all have different opinions and feelings about it. I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
But either way, we all can agree number 1 and also 1962 are going to do just great.
Yeah, they both be pretty cool. Yeah.
It'll still be fine. This person has done a great job.
But yeah, we're very excited to release this content to you guys, and it's been a lot of long process, but very excited to get it all to you. So thank you for being patient on that.
Thank you guys so much.
So on to the Disney partnership. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. We've been waiting for this for a long time. There's been talks about it, speculation. I mean, it was an easy presumption.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
So VeVe officially has Disney, Pixar, and also Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And also you could presume any other brand that's involved with Disney
like
as well.
Indiana Jones and
everything under the Disney umbrella.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
I mean, shit, you could be looking at ESPN later down the road. You could be looking at
Fox,
Simpsons.
Everything. Yep. Simpsons. Yep.
Anything Fox,
ABC,
Fox
right?
related.
Yeah.
Yeah, they own ABC as well, so you could see a lot of shows come on there. I don't know.
Yeah, they have an incredible amount of IP.
Yeah, I mean, Family Guy.
Yeah.
Family Guy. That's another one.
Exactly. Oh man.
Oh, are we gonna get Family Guy collectibles in 3D instead of 2D? Wow.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be different.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, I can't imagine the worldwide publicity this is going to get.
It should get a worldwide publicity.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is incredible.
I mean, just look. Omi price shot up today, right after the announcement happened. So,
how much did it go up?
Not as much as I thought it would.
Oh, okay.
But I also think not a lot of people know about the announcement, because the Marvel announcement shot up almost 2 to 3x.
Yeah.
Like the same day, but it hasn't exactly done the same. But that's okay. it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
exactly.
matter at the end of the day where it's at right now because they have Disney, they have Marvel, and it's going to change so much over time.
Yeah,
This-
it looks
this
like
thing
it's
is-
only up 8.3% today. So
Yeah.
not as quite
Okay.
as much of a
Alright.
shoot up as I was expecting, but
I think
but
when
still,
they
it's something.
announce,
Yeah.
I think also it'll probably go up even more upon the announcement of the actual digital collectibles.
That's true. Like when something actually
Yeah,
comes out.
when they
that's like
announce exactly what's
tangible
going to be
stuff like that.
released, that's probably when you'll
Yeah.
probably see a spike as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this next month is going to be insane.
Oh yeah.
There's been a lot of FUD spreading around about the current state of the application.
Yeah.
People are getting upset and
Yeah.
angry, and I understand to an extent, especially people who are locked out of their accounts.
Mhm.
I get it. It's tough.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, again, guys, the end game, the
Mhm.
goal is to get over to ImmutableX because they can make all these changes and update the app. They can't do that right now.
Yeah.
They can't do that because they're backtracking.
Yeah.
And they're wasting valuable time when they should be focusing on getting over to ImmutableX.
Yeah.
Because that's when they can make all these changes.
Mhm.
That's super important to know that. It's so important to know that because if you understand that, then you'll be like, okay, I understand why they're not updating everything, why this FUD is ridiculous and shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah, there's just a
So-
lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now, and like this Disney announcement proves that. Like, there's a lot that is still going on with this app, with the future of the app. So yeah, certain things right now may be a little bit funky, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
stay in it.
I mean-
It's
Yeah,
for the
just be
long run.
patient.
Again, if it hasn't sunk in, Disney is going all in on
Yeah.
VeVe.
They are officially
Understand
all
that.
in on
Like,
VeVe.
That's what is
Yeah.
happening. They're going all in.
Yeah.
Like that should
Yeah.
tell you something.
That
Yeah,
scene that I talked about in Wreck-It Ralph 2 with Disneyland and Star Wars, and that shit is coming to
It
the
is.
VeVeverse.
100%.
Yeah, these initial ones are going to be very valuable. I mean, one, they're going to
Mhm.
be first appearances of characters, which we've talked about many, many times is
Yep.
such an important thing. But these first ones are actually going to be golden statues, which, as we've seen in the past, the golden statues on VeVe
Mhm.
have fetched a nice price premium. So
Oh,
I think we can expect these things to do very, very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can't
So,
wait.
so presuming they're going to be probably partnering with Toy Tokyo, you think?
I'm not sure. Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they might just be doing their own thing.
Or maybe they'll
at
just do
first,
it
I don't know.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing they're doing that's really cool is that you actually, with the NFTs, you'll receive a subscription to Disney Plus, which VeVe, I guess, is comping. So I think if you get the regular rarity NFTs, then you get 3 months worth of Disney Plus. And then I think if you get the ultra rare, then you get a full year of Disney Plus, which is
Nice.
such a cool way to, I guess, promote their product and,
Yeah, yeah.
have a crossover between the physical and digital worlds.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible. That's awesome. God, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't
We've,
wait.
we've been waiting for this for a long time,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
just been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
Hours of conversations about,
All the clues
whether or
we
not they're
found,
coming and-
things I found, like, oh man.
and here it comes.
Yep.
Buckle up, guys.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Oh,
Oh, I
seriously.
can't wait for Star Wars.
What's I
Ugh.
can see, I wish you all could see the excitement in Kevin's eyes right
oh my
now.
god. I
What-
love Star Wars.
I think I'm most excited for Star Wars. I just, there's gonna- like, just
absolutely.
Really?
just like, I mean,
Yeah.
just think you're gonna have lightsabers, you're gonna have Millennium Falcon. There's gonna be so much.
I
Cool
I mean, I
stuff.
can't imagine what the lightsabers are going to be like in augmented reality.
Oh my.
It's going to be unreal, guys. I mean, can you imagine?
I can't wait for augmented reality.
Augmented
lightsaber.
reality is going to
So
be huge for
good.
Star Wars. I
Oh,
think
I
we all
can't
can agree.
wait.
the
We're gonna fight each other in
the
augmented reality. It's
augmentedness
gonna
of the
be-
reality is going to be.
Hey, Kevin, do you think we can get your VeVe lightsaber collection to be as large as your physical lightsaber collection?
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah.
will go in on any lightsaber they put
I
out.
wish everyone could
awesome.
see how excited.
How
Kevin
many
is
do you
right
how
now.
many?
I am
He's
so
shaking as like a
excited right
child at Disneyland in line for the first time,
Yeah,
and
oh,
I'm
yeah,
so
oh, yeah,
excited.
Kevin, how many physical lightsabers do you have again?
22.
22. Wow.
Kevin has 22 lightsabers. That is
Yeah.
so. And I actually play with them, and they
Yeah.
are fucking crazy cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they are so.
Like they range from like very simple ones to like very like custom made.
the heavy, sturdy
lightsabers.
ones are made of fiberglass, and
Yeah.
you can actually you see the light come up, and it looks. I mean, you could actually have a lightsaber fight, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks real.
Full on.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's so rad.
I love
Super
it.
impressive.
But also, I just want vehicles. A lot of Star
Mm.
Wars vehicles that I love: X-wing, Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
the A-wing, B-wings. Like, oh, cannot wait! I cannot wait.
So you both are most excited for Star Wars.
For me,
yeah,
because
probably.
again, I don't know Disney as much.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go to Disneyland until I was
Gotcha. Yeah. So
34.
this is what's exciting about this conversation right now. This conversation is pure nostalgia for
Yeah.
all of us,
Oh,
right? So we
absolutely.
have all of our. Because
Mhm.
for me, it's and I'm super pumped for Star Wars, but Disney, like Disney characters, for me is like I am
he
obsessed
really
with
is,
Disney.
by the way.
I am
Like, he
obsessed with
really is.
Disney.
It's a little weird, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And
We've talked
like-
about it. We're concerned, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
We're
and
planning an
my mom,
intervention,
my
don't
mom,
worry.
My mom passed on that love to me, and thank you, Mom. Big shout out to my mom, Janice. I love you so much. And she's obsessed with Disney. My dad, he's like, I'll go to Disneyland with you guys.
Yeah.
Sure. I
It's
think he
still
does.
fun.
I think he does love it deep down inside, but he,
But he has
just
to be a
tries-
man about it. Disney.
It's so fun. My dad, and it's fun because when we get there, my dad has a great time, but he grunts a little bit before we go there. But we used to go like, at least a couple times a year.
Well, hopefully this means that we're going to start seeing NFTs at the actual parks. So something that Sean mentioned before, like you go to a ride and you receive an NFT for that ride. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, imagine if there's a drop and you're at Disney, and if you're at Disney, you get that drop, you can like turn it in for something.
Oh, it's crazy. We were actually, so Kevin, myself, and Roth Rind, our good friend, we us three went to Disneyland back in
Oh man, when was
March.
it?
No, June. It was
June,
June.
June.
We went there in June, and that was during the Superman drop.
That was.
We were in the hotel. Oh, that was
That's-
awesome. Yeah.
wow,
So we
that's right.
all got a Superman statue for it. We all got the part of the Superman drop, and then we left and went straight to the park.
Yep.
And it was the best day. Oh, it was June 15th. I remember that because that was the day they lifted the mask mandate for
Oh,
California.
that's right. And we
Holy
we
shit,
could walk
that's
around with that mask.
Wow,
That
that's
was great.
cool. Wow.
Man.
Just Sean in his head movies.
I'm so proud of you, Sean.
A little pat on the back for me.
Yeah.
But we were walking around because we were all thinking about the NFTs and like
Yeah.
we were just thinking, man, imagine being able to go to certain parks or certain areas and you have NFT drops based on your GPS location. Like that was so cool. Like Kevin and I were going to, and Roth were going to detail about how amazing that will be. And especially for rides like It's a Small World, like let's be honest, no one really gives a shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really cool ride, but it's kind of dying out.
It's a historical ride.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't say
Yeah,
cool
but,
ride.
like,
I'd say historical
All
ride.
right.
Yeah.
I
But-
went on it.
but
I
no-
was
but
like,
there's
huh,
no-
well, I experienced
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one gives a shit anymore. Like, it's kind of sad, but yeah, 100%, it's a historical ride, and it's very sentimental for that reason.
It's not terrible, right?
And I'm not talking about me, by the way.
yeah, exactly.
I love that ride because of pure nostalgia. But a lot of people don't give a shit. And if you ever go on that ride, like there's no lines.
Yeah,
There's
true.
no lines.
No.
But imagine this: adding some type of perk, like you go there and you get an NFT specifically designed for that day that's related to It's a Small World. I mean, I'm already excited about going on that ride because I'm a fucking kid. But but being able to go there and get an NFT that gives excitement to the kids, but mostly the adults.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If they're into that.
Yeah. And you actually just brought up a good point, which is this now makes the adults there feel a little bit more inclusive because they can do NFT drops. You'll have all these things, not
Yeah,
just for kids.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like for me, I mean, I don't even know if I could go around all day and hop around and get collectible NFTs at Disneyland. I don't even know if I'd go on any rides. Like, which is kind of crazy to say because you go there for the rides, but like, yeah, that's
No,
so
you'd
cool.
still go on.
Yeah, you guys, I'd still go on
Yeah,
the rides.
you'd
Yeah,
still
yeah.
go on the
Yeah,
rides.
yeah. You still go on the rides.
No, you'd still go.
In fact,
No,
you
you will do the NFT drop on the rides.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be going down Splash Mountain.
Well, actually, if you
Phone
heard a
out.
previous story of us, my brother and I, we went to Universal Studios.
Oh,
Yeah, we actually were doing that for the
That's
DraftKings
right.
drops. Yeah. Yeah. I was on Harry Potter and flipping upside down and shit, like trying to get the Wayne Gretzky NFT. And it worked, but man, it was pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
oh wow.
But yeah, that's exciting. That's
Yeah.
so cool. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and I'm very curious if VeVe will include that on their platform at the Disney park, or they'll just have it separate.
I don't know. I think that comes down to however they approach it, because it probably won't be for a little bit. Just,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
makes
far out.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, one more thing I want to mention: the transfer over to ImmutableX. Everyone, make sure again, keep your expectations sound.
Mhm.
Do not expect moonshot on your collectibles when we transfer over. A lot of people don't understand the space. A lot of people don't understand VeVe. They don't know that these things can be used in augmented reality.
By the way,
But that's
just
a
so
big
you know,
deal.
we will never say that word correctly ever again.
Yeah. It's officially augmented.
Yeah, it's
we're gonna make a shirt about it now.
If we can make hodl a word, we're gonna make augmented reality.
Yeah, augmented reality. But keep your expectations low and sound. Like it's very important, guys, because if everyone's expecting moonshot, immediately you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. And it'll take time, but if you understand the vision of this project and where these collectibles can go, and you have those fucking diamond hands, it's going to pay off. You will be rewarded. I feel very confident in that, not financial advice.
Yeah, and you were saying this. I think it was yesterday or something. It was like, again, on the whole of everything that people know, most people in this world right now don't know about this stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's still very
It's still
new.
so
It's
early.
still very
Yeah.
niche. Like,
Can you imagine when, especially when like China gets involved?
Yeah,
In Asia,
exactly.
most of Asia and Russia, because they aren't really involved in this app right now. A lot of it because it's only English, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
right
a
now.
lot of the Asian countries, they haven't gotten really involved because of that reason. So it's really exciting to see when this does. I can't imagine what the space is going to be like.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, the NFTs we know for sure that are going to be transferred over are the independent artists.
Mhm.
Those will be first. But don't expect like, oh, Givenchy's going to go over there immediately. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen right away. If it does.
Like I said, we are super excited about all this. We're pumped as fuck for
Yeah,
all
yeah.
this shit.
Super pumped.
It's amazing. But up next, we have something really special for you guys. We are joined by a comic book artist who has worked with both Marvel and DC, and whose 32-year career has included comics such as The X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, The Justice League, Doom Patrol, Deadpool Classic, and Exiles. He has also worked extensively with Star Wars on such projects as The Old Republic. We are excited to hear about his NFT project, Combat Jacks. Please welcome Mark McKenna.
Hey guys, hey Sean, hey Kevin, hey.
How's it
Hey,
going?
Mark.
Hey, how's it going,
It's so
Mark?
nice to meet you.
Good.
Thanks so
I'm
much for joining
sorry. I'm
us.
sorry about the delay.
No,
No worries
don't
at
even
all.
worry about it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started as a comic book artist?
I was a collector as a kid, as a teenager, and when I went to see my guidance counselor as a senior in high school, he said, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And the only things I really thought about was filmmaking. I used to make Super 8 films, kind of like the movie Super 8. In fact, I got crazy with it. I was using replica 44 Magnums. I'd have to call the local police station to let them know that don't kill us,
Oh, wow.
We had, I made little explosions with fireworks and stuff, and we got really involved
Nice.
in that stuff. And the other part of it was I doodled, I was a little artistic. So when I met with the guidance counselor, they thought I should put me into animation program because it's a little bit of comic book and a little bit of a little bit of movie making. And I lasted about a year and a half in the animation department at the School of Visual Arts because back then it was before computer, 1980. And, there was 770 drawings for 1 minute of animation, and I was losing my mind.
Oh, wow.
Can't
And,
imagine.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I also met the Newtown coordinator at DC Comics, and he brought me up to the DC offices. And once I sat next to Clark Kent on a couch, big kind of Buster Clark Kent on a couch, I said, "This is for me." And then I focused all my energy towards being a comic book artist.
Oh, that's amazing. We're filmmakers, so
Yeah.
hearing the fact that you make Super 8 films as a kid, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in turning your art into NFTs?
Well, I'm a little older, so it wasn't the most natural fit for me. Everything I do is 2D on paper, so one of the platforms, Maker's Place, reached out to me and asked me if I would be their branded Star Wars artist because I had done Star Wars for Dark Horse Comics,
awesome.
the Old Republic stuff, the
cool.
Empire, Lost Sons. Because of that, I became one of the Star Wars licensed artists, and I was allowed to participate in the art show at the Star Wars Celebration 6 in 2012. Yeah, it was really awesome, and it's basically a Comic-Con, but 75,000 Star Wars fans.
That's great.
It was pretty awesome. Made more money than I ever did in my life at a Comic-Con, and realized how rabid the fan base was. So when these guys at Maker's Place reached out to me and said, do you want to be our branded Star Wars artist? Of course I'm going to say yes to them. So it wasn't until a little bit later that, because NFTs and the whole crypto platform wasn't as recognized back in November,
Right.
or even October a year ago as it is right now. So once the Disney and DC Comics opened up their eyes and see there's real money here, it changed the game for everybody, I think, because DC was doing cease and desist orders, and I'm sure Disney was going to right behind them. So I just nipped that in the bud and found it. But the energy was there. I knew that there was a rabid fan base for this stuff. And I was kind of in on the infancy of being a comic artist in the NFT in the platform. So I decided to do different things like stuff that's in public domain stuff, like mythology or universal monsters and things of this
Oh,
nature.
nice. Can you tell us why you chose Terra Virtua to create your NFTs on their platform?
Yeah, well, Chris Bycourt, he reached out to me, and I think there's guys out there that are looking for talent, and I think he must have seen me on another platform and reached out to me about doing stuff. And I was still with Maker's Place. I had 4 drops with them this past year. And then these other fellas reached out to me with another company called Master Brews, who I like a lot, those guys. But when Chris reached out to me and told me they had Paramount pictures and legendary pictures behind them, I was very excited by that. And I listened. He offered me some, a sweet gig. And I'm thrilled to, just create new product for the different platforms. The problem I have is that there's quite a few different platforms right now, and I have to be a little more judicial about what I pick, from here on in. And jobs that are not, overly extensive, that just eat up too much of my time.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Could you tell us a little bit about the upcoming Combat Jacks graphic novel that you're going to be putting out, the NFT graphic novel?
Yeah. So Combat Jacks is something that I did originally as a 4-issue miniseries, and I collected into a square-bound 144-page book. And Chris had asked me, I think there was another graphic novel that's been done on Terra Virtua, and they liked the idea of me doing it as an NFT. And to me, it was just additional eyes on it, because I have a limited amount of people that are familiar with it. I mean, it was released because I'm a established comic artist over the last 35 years. People do follow me. I have a fan base, but more so doing Spider-Man, right, and Star Wars than doing, alien jack-o'-lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little bit of a different energy for me. And the fact that there's a lot more eyes there, excited me to kind of create, almost a new avenue of fan base,
Yeah, I was curious, what was your experience like publishing on blockchain or publishing as an NFT compared to publishing with Marvel or DC or one of the other big comic book publishers?
Well, the first thing is I own the IP. It's my product. What I did do is I used my history to help support the project and get it more eyes on it. Of course, the NFT thing, for me, I mean, it's quicker to get it out, right, because of the crypto art and the digital support. Whereas if only other way I'm going to get these books in hands, physical copies, is through Amazon or me being at comic conventions, and that's drips and drabs versus the NFT market, where you get the worldwide, interest is immediate,
Yeah.
So that was nice for me to have that.
Was this that light bulb moment for you when you realized this? Like, oh, okay, NFTs are pretty awesome when you have this kind of flexibility.
Yeah, actually, a light bulb moment happened the first time I did an NFT for Maker's Place. It was back in November, and the money was real, and it happened real fast. And I consider myself semi-retired in the business. I've been doing this since 1985, when I worked on staff at Marvel. And I really, my wife is still working, and I was doing about 20 Comic Cons a year. And I was doing my own little bits and pieces here and there. But I have to say it was fairly immediate for me to think, this is a whole other amazing avenue for me.
Well, that's amazing.
That's great. Could you tell us about some of your past NFT drops that you've done? Like, for example, that first one that you did back in November.
Yeah, so I was with another comic artist named Jose Delbo, who he did. You know him, Spencer?
No, so I work for the company that represents Jose Delbo.
Okay.
So we're leading into that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jose's grandson, I believe his name is Nick.
Yep, that's my boss.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So
Nick,
Nick,
with them very closely. Yeah.
So Nick reached out to me and said, we'd like to collaborate with you on a piece that'll kind of introduce you to the market. And, then we have more eyes because of you'll have a fan base and he'll have a fan base. And the problem with that is I've had 38 followers on my first drop, and he had, I don't know, a couple thousand. And then within 2 drops, I think I have over 7,000 followers, from 38 to 7,000. And at one point, I actually had more than Jose did. And then he did the Wonder Woman NFT and everything blew up, and you know that story. So the first piece I did was his Mr. Death character in the front. And then we kind of pyramided behind him, and he did Wonder Woman and Batman. You probably know it. And then I did Deadpool and Vader, and it sold tremendous. And I was
it's
like,
an awesome piece. It's a really, really awesome piece.
Yeah. And then I think it resold again. And that to me, so because as I do artwork, physical artwork for people at shows, commissions, I sell it to them. I don't know where it goes after that. And that's the beauty of blockchain. It's always accountable for. And that to me is very exciting also,
And then you also had another NFT drop that you did earlier this week, right? Like it dropped on, it was Tuesday?
The Combat Jacks NFT yesterday?
You had another one, I think, right?
Oh, Master Brews was another one I did with Heroes and Villains, actually. That is
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. That's with the Master Brew guys, Keith and Adam. And those are good dudes. And they always have a plan B and C just in case things kind of get quiet. And that was one of those extensive projects where you build an avatar, you build a character. They give you a generic skin, bald man, bald woman, like Barbie and Ken dolls. And you buy traits and weapons and things and build them. Different backgrounds, different clothing, different hairstyles. And it was a big job. And I think it's doing pretty well though. So, but there's something to say about doing 3 pieces in a week versus 6 weeks of, I have a stack of artwork here that I, just literally did for these guys.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Incredible.
There's a lot of stuff here. Yeah. And we were doing things like, weapons.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah. So you basically designed like each of the individual traits that get put onto the avatar.
Yeah. Now we also created individual NFTs that they could purchase.
Oh, cool.
Them
I love this.
That recognize that guy from my own book, but
Yeah.
these kind of things. And then and then we had to do things like hands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And the hands have to be able to hold each weapon, and there's some crazy ass weapons there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some medieval shit going on there,
Looks great, though.
So, but that was a massive undertaking, and it's going to continue because they want to do mutants and sidekicks and things like that. But you know what? Ultimately, if it pays off, it'll all be worth it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other NFT projects planned for the future, or even just not NFT projects? Just what else are you working on?
Yeah. So I'm doing where are you guys, by the way? Is anybody in Canada?
No.
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, in New York.
In the California Bay Area.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with Sean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in the same room.
Yeah. Right. There he is. That's funny. So working on a B movie comic book for an actress named Bridget Kingsley. She's lives up in I think the Toronto area, and it's a movie. It's a B movie. It's coming out around Christmas time, and it's called Rock to Pussy.
Nice.
And it's basically about an octopussy. We're doing the comic book for her, and
cool.
My same team who's doing the NFT stuff for me is jump in, and we're going to do that because I like variation, doing different things, and not just having one. It's like having stock in one company. If they falter, you'd like to have your hands in different pies. So
you got to diversify.
Yeah. So we're doing that. I mean, the rates aren't what NFTs would make me, but I like to diversify and keep things active. And as far as the NFT market, Chris at Terra Virtua wants me to get involved with doing more mythology stuff because I did 3 pieces for this drop, and I sold out in 15 minutes on my last Maker's Place drop, which was great. I did a Medusa, with Perseus, where he's holding up the
Oh, wow.
shield, and as he's
Yeah.
dropping it down, he's turning the stone. I did a Hercules versus Norse Thor, because I don't
Oh, cool.
want to get sued by Marvel, you know. So
course. Yep.
we did that animated where Thor's hammer's emitting lightning bolts and stuff like
Oh,
that.
sweet.
So I mean, the
that.
mythology is huge, right? I mean, there's a million different things. I want to do Apollo. I want to do Zeus throwing lightning bolts and all this stuff. So there's going to be a lot more there. And then the Universal Monster stuff that I'm be releasing, I think tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know. I know this is time delayed. So I did Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula fighting Combat Jacks. You know, my alien
Cool.
puppets.
That's awesome.
And they animated them at Terra Virtua, so I'm really excited about that too.
Oh, wow. I love animated NFTs. Those are great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, the more and more I do, the more and more I realize that you know, people are hungry for them too. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems like that's where the demand is. So do you have any memorable stories from your time working at Marvel and DC?
Yeah, I think I do. My time at DC, I was on the contract for 4 years. At Marvel and DC was famous or infamous for playing softball games every year. And I was the third baseman, home run hitter, you know, on
Nice.
the Marvel team until DC hired me under contract. And then I went and tried to kick Marvel's ass, you know. And we had played in Balboa Park before San Diego Comic-Con one year. And Heroes Initiative, which are you familiar with those guys? They support, you know, artists that don't have medical and things of that nature, you know.
Oh,
So they do a lot of noble
Yeah.
noble cause stuff.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And what they did is offered an eBay auction to play with the Marvel or DC softball team, the highest
Oh,
bidder,
cool.
you know. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was at the time, I think I played with Marvel, and the best guy in the DC team was the guy who won, you know, won the eBay auction. And now he works for Robert Kirkman, and he's his go-to guy on The Walking Dead.
Wow.
Oh, really?
There you
Yeah,
go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he
that's
really, you know,
amazing.
small world stuff.
Yeah.
And he used to work for BMI, Sony, so he used to send me a ton of CDs in the mail. He's a real good dude. The other thing is, I tell a story about me meeting Stan Lee at a Marvel Christmas party in the early '90s when I was doing Iron Man and the Punisher, and I walked into this Christmas, I want to say holiday party, try to make it PC, and he was standing at the bar by himself, and I walked right over to him because you don't get those opportunities, you know. And I walk over to him and I go, "Hi, Mr. Lee. My name is Mark McKenna, and I ink Iron Man and the Punisher for Marvel." And he says to me, "Is that all you do, kid? You should be doing 5 books a month, you know." And then, you know, I just was in awe of him. And then his brother Larry Lieber, who was doing the daily Spider-Man's drawings, he came over, and then John Romita Sr. came over, I was reading Spider-Man, you know, in the back of
Wow.
in the back of my parents', you know, station wagon at a drive-in movie, and all these guys. I just stood back and watched. These are my, you know, my childhood rock stars, you know. So that was really exciting. Since then I met Stan Lee I met him 2 other times. I still don't think he knows who I am, but you know, he was about 95 at the time too. So, you know.
Yeah.
When you played the softball games, did you ever play with Todd McFarlane?
Yeah, Todd didn't play. I know he was like a minor league ball player, wasn't he? That one.
Yeah, apparently
He
really
was.
good too.
Yeah, I met Todd once only. I was doing an Amazing Spider-Man 305, and it was another holiday party at Marvel, and I guess he flew in from wherever he was. He's Canadian, right? And we met and talked for a brief minute or all, but he and I did a bunch of pinups for his Spawn that I don't think I've ever seen print, that he paid very handsomely for the artwork, but I think there's probably a big flat file somewhere with a bunch of this stuff in it. We played with John Beatty. I think Mike Zeck played. I don't know that we ever had Shooter play. John Romita Jr. was a shortstop when I played first base in that Balboa Park game.
That's so cool.
Billy Tucci was pitching. Humberto Ramos was in left field. It was kind of cool. Kirkman was there. Which is interesting because the group shot, he's looking the other direction. We're all looking at the camera, and he's like, "Where am I?" Which I think is kind of funny, you know. Yeah, but that's some of my good memories there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So since you, I guess your background originally was in filmmaking, I was curious. Did you ever have the opportunity to work on any DC films or Marvel or MCU films?
No, the closest I got to that was doing the movie adaptation, the comic book adaptations. I did when the X-Men movie came out in 2001. I did the Wolverine movie prequel, which is they created a story, a 48-page story that kind of led into the X-Men movie. And what was great about that was not the fact they gave $3 million away at Toys R Us, because I see no money on that, but the fact is that when I bought the ticket to go see the movie, they gave me the comic book that I did at the box office, which was surreal.
That's so cool.
They did a 16-page teaser of the 48-page book, and they gave it away. I'm sure they want to sell books, right? But they gave it away. So, I buy a ticket, they give me my comic, and I go in the movie theater, and I'm sitting there, and I want to tell everybody, hey, I did this.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of cool,
Yeah, no, that is actually really cool.
Yeah, that was it. But I never really get to work on any behind the scenes stuff like that. Also, but the Iron Man movie came out, what was it, about 10, 11 years ago, maybe? I'm already, I was done with pretty much Marvel at that point. Last thing I did for Marvel, I think, was probably 2012.
Gotcha.
And that's when I was doing the Dark Horse, the Star Wars stuff with Dark Horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very cool. Mark, are you a collector yourself?
I have all my original comics that I bought when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I have Avengers #1 that I bought.
Wow.
I bought it for $7 when I was, actually, I was probably 13 years old. And I think my mom smacked me in the back of the head and said, "What are you spending your money on this crap?" Avengers #1 is a few thousand. It's a 3.0, so it's probably just a few $1,000s. But
oh yeah.
But my mom was like, "Best decision ever," now, right? I have the early Thors. I have Daredevil. I have Daredevil 1 to 150. I do keep that stuff. I don't really collect like I did. I mean, I have a big CD collection, and my bookshelf's out of whack. I buy books just because I love having books. And I got to be honest with you, the last probably 15 books I bought, I haven't opened them. They're just sitting there going, "Ooh, look, that's nice."
What's your favorite comic?
I was a big Silver Surfer fan, to be honest with you. So I had the 1 through 18 that John Buscema did with Stan Lee. And that got me very excited to do space scenes and stuff of that nature. But my two best collections really are Daredevil and the Avengers, though. Those are the two that I stuck close to. I regret I traded my Iron Man collection for a Howard the Duck collection when I was 1982.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I thought the Duck was going to be the thing, and I regret that. All my Iron Mans, terrible.
Oh.
Well, you still got Silver Surfer 1. That's I actually own that one as well. It's one of my favorites.
I do. You know what though? I traced over it. I took tracing paper and traced over it, so it's got a hard line all through the cover.
Oh no!
You bought them back then because you read them and you loved them. You didn't buy them because it's true.
Yep.
I back in '92, I did a signing at a comic store. Back in 1992, that was the boom in comics, and I did 4 Marvel annuals that year. I was working on Nomad, which is Captain America's sidekick. I did a book called The Darkhold, which is the Spirits of Vengeance, the Ghost Rider stuff. And I remember a kid came into me when I was signing autographs at the store, and he had 10 copies of Nomad #1. And he took them out of each bag, and he made me sign them, and then he put them back in the bag. And I said, "This kid thinks this is his college tuition, at the time." And I buy them for $1 anywhere I go now. People are handing me there's 412,000 copies of that.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a tough book to find.
Yeah.
Do you have a character that's most memorable to you? One that you've drawn? It's very sentimental.
I'm a Marvel zombie guy, so it'd have to be a Marvel character pretty much. Not Spider-Man. I hated doing the webs on Spider-Man.
No.
I liked it. I was a fan of was Adam Warlock or the Jack of Hearts, but he was a ridiculous character to draw because he had everything going on in his character. I worked on Iron Man for over a year too, so that was kind of a great coup for me too. which is, you can't take that away from me,
Yeah.
how many people can say they worked on the original Iron Man series in their life, or
Yeah.
I worked on Detective. I worked on Batman, 769 to 775. If you count back those months, 700, it's 1938, so I'm really, so that's kind of my pinch me, times when I have that, knowing that there's, not hundreds of people that worked on those books, but more than a few certainly. But I mean, maybe 100, but it's kind of limited, in that way.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. I know we've talked about some of your awesome projects coming out, but is there anything else that you'd like to discuss or highlight?
Yeah. So one of the things I want to talk about, and I feel bad about this, is my creative team on Combat Jacks. The guys who I worked with, this thing happened so fast and furious with the NFT that I didn't really get a chance. No, everyone's honed in on the fact that it's an NFT and it's, the character, what it is. But without my creative team, Sam Eagleston, who co-wrote the stuff with me, he scripted my plots, and he had a sense of the military stuff, like landing zones, LZs, clicks, things of this nature. Because I don't have any of that. He came in and he really polished up my stuff, and he was a great asset to have on the book. And then Jason Baruti, who was my pencil artist, who gave me all my roughs, and I would go back and tell him, do this, fix that, this kind of thing. And then I would oversee everything and also ink everything. And then I had 4 or 5 different colorists on the book. But without my support team, as with my NFT stuff that I'm currently doing, I'm just a guy who worked on Marvel Comics, So, and I don't take that slightly, because I know my guys tell me, without your name on front of it, we don't make that money or whatever, that support. But I don't do that without them either. So it's just really, back scratch each, we scratch each other's back. So just want to give those guys some love, because without them, I don't go forward. I mean, there's a million guys I could work with, but I pick the guys that best are best suited for who, can listen to me and take advice, and quality is there. And like I said, without those guys, I don't fly. So, so that's one of the other things I wanted to bring up,
That's so
That's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
As filmmakers, we're always told it's a collaborative effort. You don't make a movie by yourself. You don't make comic books by yourself, and your team is always important.
Yeah. And, comic books are as collaborative as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, and you think about it, we never meet each other either. I mean, you got a
Oh, yeah.
writer, I mean, before the digital age and the World Wide Web and digital comics, I was working with Mike McCone, who lived in England, and first time I met him, he walked up to me at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2001. Now, mind you, I started working with him in 1991. 2001, he walks up to me at a Comic-Con, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Mike," and I'm like, "What?" 10 years, I had never met the guy, and we talked on the phone all the time, and possibly had seen a picture of him or two, but yeah. And then, so you're talking about a writer, you're talking about a pencil artist, you're talking about an artist, you're talking about a letterer and a colorist, and all those guys, they have to be all rock stars to make it. It's like, I tell kids when I teach kids, it's like playing Guitar Hero. You're only as good as the other components in the band, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mark. We really appreciate this. This
It's
has
so
been
nice meeting you, Mark. You're so awesome.
Honored to have you on.
You're so
Yeah.
great, Mark.
It's been awesome.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Cheers, bro.
All right.
Bye, Mark.
Later.
See you,
Bye,
Mark.
guys.
Thank you all for tuning in, and a huge thanks to Mark McKenna for joining us today. Be sure to check out the Combat Jacks NFT at terravirtua.io. It seems that when VeVe wishes upon a star, they get the partnerships that will take them far. So anything that your heart may desire will ultimately come to you. Stay awesome, and remember, fuck the moon, let's go to Disneyland. Music is by NineFinger. Make sure to check out their music at NineFinger.com. And you can follow them on Instagram at NineFinger999. Be sure to check them out and send them some love.